Gabe gets the actual meta card. I know about this
Okay,
one.
interesting. I've not seen this card. All right, Analyze the Pollen is 1 green sorcery at rare. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may collect evidence 8. Search your library for a basic land card. If evidence was collected, instead search your library for a creature or land card. Reveal that card and put it into your hand and then shuffle. Okay.
Yeah.
For 1.
For 1. So 1 mana, getting a basic land is fine. Collecting evidence 8 is a lot, but you can design decks to do this specific, like in higher power levels.
Yeah.
Like pretty easily, and then it is a tutor for any land and any creature directly into your hand.
Yeah.
Which is not normally what tutors do.
Yeah, they put them in your graveyard or something, right?
And on top of your library.
Or on, that's usually on top of your library.
Yeah.
I mean, they printed Demonic Tutor in this set, right?
Yeah.
We've seen that skeleton,
the lightning and the.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that.
The case.
Yeah. So I mean, you're probably not playing this in limited. I mean, it's okay if you really need some mana fixing.
Yeah, I think
maybe fine.
This set being multicolored, like I think this is fine in this set.
Like you could get evidence like if you top deck this on like turn 7, you probably have evidence 8 unless you're eating your evidence with something else. And then it's just get the best creature out of your deck, which could be game winning. So I think it's fine and limited and big upside and everything else, commander included. Also all constructed formats. Cool card. Oh, then I get a card that has a lot of people interested as well. Green getting some love. Archdruid's Charm. Triple greens. Instant. Rare. Choose 1. Search your library for a creature or land card and reveal it. Put it onto the battlefield tapped if it's a land. Otherwise put it in your hand. Why not more tutors?
Then shuffle.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Any land card, by the way, directly into play. It is a rampant growth for any land card. Like, think commander implications are insane. Because you're like, Gaia's Cradle, like, any absolutely broken land directly into play. At least it's tapped. But people are already saying, like, Amulet. Yeah. From Amulet Titan to make everything enter untap. So, like...
Right.
So that's extremely good. And we're not even talking about the creature tutor portion. Alright, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. That is hilariously less powerful than the first one. But maybe sometimes you also need it. And then
it's a bite.
It's a bite.
Better bite.
It's a +1 counter and a bite. Yeah, so it's like kind of removal. But I mean, like on the scale of decent bite to creature land tutor, you know, there's a little asymmetry there.
Yeah, of course. But I'm just saying a lot of these, and all of this is relevant.
Yeah, all of it's, and then exile, potentially something relevant, right? An artifact or enchantment. So the way to look at this is a land, a super rampant growth for any land, and a creature tutor with additional upside, because why not? Like, they put it in order for you. They were like, very powerful card.
This is very reasonable.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, I don't know if you can play this in limited. You obviously have to be really green, but I mean, you're trying to play
I think you absolutely can play this. This is so good.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I mean,
color, whatever.
There's going to be times that you open this and can't play this. Like, I could see this going surprisingly late pack 3, you know, it already hits the guy that's pretty heavy green, like 5th pick, and he's like, oh my god!
Slam.
Yeah.
And yeah, just in everything else, probably good. Yeah, but this has been a weird review.
Evidence with Tristani. 2 and a green. Audience. It's a sorcery. It's rare.
It is audience.
What did I say?
What did he say? Evidence with Tristani.
I did say evidence. I was trying to read the third word. Okay, I'll start over. Audience with Tristani. It's 2 and a green. It's a rare sorcery. Create a 0/1 green plant creature token. Then draw cards equal to the number of differently named creature tokens you control.
Interesting.
What?
Differently named creature tokens.
This is some sort of Yahtzee nonsense.
Yeah.
Like what's the upside here? I pay 3 mana, I get a 0 for 1, and then draw 5, and like I'm like doing it. I'm talking about even in Commander here, right? Like.
Oh, yeah. This is so highly specific for a very, very narrow deck somewhere out there.
Yeah. Thank you for not spoiling it. There's a story note here that we're not going to spoil for our dear audience. You know the story, right, Gabe? You storied up. Do you know the
He's
resolution
just gonna
to
say
the
it
story?
out loud.
Don't say it. Don't. Look it up. Look it up later. Look it up later.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
This card's okay.
This
not good.
This made some very singular person very happy, and no one else cared.
Oh. Okay. Anyway.
It's you.
Axebane Ferox. 2 and 2 green. Creature Beast. A Mythic. It's a 4/4. It is a Death Touch Haste.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ward collect 4 evidence.
Yeah. Ward collect 4 evidence. So.
Okay.
Really interesting ward cost, but I mean this card is just a house and limited. Obviously, it's just so strong and limited.
Its ward cost is really funny because it's like you're supposed to throw things in front of it so you can finally cast something to kill it. You're like chump block it, now kill it. Yeah, I mean in limited you hate to see it for sure.
The fact that it's a haste is just it's a lot to deal with.
It's for sure not good enough. I don't think in anything else. I guess hold the phone. Does maybe have some standard possibilities because it's effectively hexproof against control, right? Evidence is specifically creature. No. Evidence is just any cards with mana value? This whole time I thought it was creature power.
It does say mana value.
It's any card. It's instant sorceries, anything.
For a ward?
That makes evidence better, but it also makes this much worse.
I could have sworn it said just creature.
Yeah, I thought that too. But no, it's exiles cards. Maybe we just read that into it. Okay, yeah, that makes him much worse. That makes everything else we've seen with evidence much better. That makes that Phoenix good. Because you can just play rummage cards and it's never dying. You just play rummage. Back on the other page. Oh no. Watch, I'm going to go right to it. Close. To collect exile cards with total mana value. Okay. Phoenix is good. Phoenix, Faithless Looting. Like, so that's the thing, is Phoenixes are supposed to be good with Faithless Looting. This Phoenix is very good with So Faithless Looting costs 1 red, and it says discard a card. No, it says discard 2, draw 2. No, draw 2, discard 2, because it's looting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, draw 2, discard 2, which is insane to get to see the cards first before you have to discard. And then it flashes back for 2 in a red.
Yeah.
So it's just tons of stuff getting in your graveyard. Okay. Wow. We need to reevaluate everything. But now we'll just know that going forward. Okay, well that also makes this card much better. This card is I apologize, this card is like a slam first pick.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Wow. Wild. I actually do want to go. I think at the end I'm just gonna like scroll up and think about evidence now. Okay, so this card is still good, but like that ward is not the most prohibitive.
This card is obviously good anyway.
Yeah. Alright. My turn. Case of the Locked Hothouse. People be hot boxing in the hothouse? What?
having a hot housing at least.
What is this a picture of? What am I
Just
seeing?
clothes. No people. It's a hot house.
I think it is a.
Is that a shovel? Is that a huge
so
shovel?
this is definitely a greenhouse in which someone
Oh, that's a
is
wheelbarrow.
growing like people eating plants. They look like there's skulls in the center of these flowers.
Yeah, the wheelbarrow is turned over. Death has happened here. This is a very morbid set.
Yeah, it's a morbid
Just-
set. I mean,
You should just assume going into the art that a murder has occurred.
Yeah.
That's what we should just assume.
Obviously.
So a hothouse is like a greenhouse.
It's a greenhouse, yeah. The case of the locked hothouse. Okay, here's the case. It's 3 and a green. It's an enchantment case. It's a rare. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Fair. You control 7 or more lands to solve it. Also fair. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play lands and cast creatures and enchantments off the top of your library. Very fair. Very fair. Enchantress is interested in this.
Yeah.
Enchantress is interested in this. This is cool.
this card is cool.
I limited once again. Once again, we have a card like I don't think this is good in limited, but it's probably unplayable. I don't know. It's how 7 lands is a lot of lands, but then just ripping
Lands is
things
a lot.
off. Because the fact that you can cast land, or you can play lands and cast creatures, that can stop you from getting stuck. Like, that's normally the problem with
Yeah,
cards that let you play off the top, is you hit a land and then you can do nothing. This letting you do both,
Yeah.
and
Well,
enchantments.
all 3.
Yeah, and enchantments.
I mean,
7's a lot of
this-
lands, though.
This is legit good in Enchantress deck.
Yeah, I definitely like an Enchantress deck. You can definitely go off with it. It's like a mini Omniscience. 7 is still a lot of lands, but yeah, it's an interesting card.
But also maybe unplayable and limited.
It's probably
You're not thrilled to see
unplayable.
this card.
Like if
It's
you're playing a
playable.
lot of lands, I guess. If you're like defensive and playing a lot of lands, if you
Until we see commons and uncommons, we won't know how many enchantments are in this.
if I get this late pick, I'm trying to do it. I'll put it in and
Sure.
try to do it at some
So
point.
Sure.
when it says you may look at the top card of your library at any time,
Yeah.
well, what does that entail?
That just means at your pleasure, you may sample the top of your deck at any time.
And play lands and enchantments from the top
Yeah.
of your deck.
So
At any-
at any
so if
time,
you had
you
one
like
of those
set down your
flash
hand
enchantments,
and you're like, okay, this is what it is.
yeah. And
you
if
just
it-
play it
it-
though.
Yeah, if you can. Like if you hit 2 lands on the top, then you can't continue because you can still only
but
play on. No,
theoretically,
you can play 2 lands a turn. Oh my
Right.
god! I forgot.
Yeah,
I
like-
forgot the first paragraph with the last paragraph. You know, because there's so many paragraphs on these.
yeah,
I guess the first is just a
No.
sentence.
you get to play too. But Jacob, if it's not your turn, like the only land or enchantments you could play off the top are flash enchantments. But like you could play a flash enchantment on the other person's turn.
Yeah.
Because you can look at the top of your deck. Like if you had Swift Reconfiguration. in
Yeah,
this, which is like
So
you play it
you
on something and
could-
it turns into a 0/1. Like
You
can do that.
could solve this by like turn 6 then.
Yeah. You could solve it by turn 5 if you had like insane lands. Because on
Yeah,
turn
it's-
4 you play this
yeah.
and you can immediately play another land going to 5, and then on turn 5 you can go 6, 7.
Oh, you can immediately. Oh,
Yeah, because it immediately takes
Yeah,
effect. So
okay.
you can hit
Yeah,
it the
so
next
turn
turn.
5.
Turn 5 you can hit this.
and in other formats, this is so easy to hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heavy and green.
I don't know how many. You're probably playing at least 18 lands, maybe 19 lands if you're playing this card.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild. It's really cool. In Europe, look, this shows. I guess you can't see this, but so it's pre-ordering at $10 in America and $3 in Europe because it's so Commander focused, and Commander doesn't care about Europe.
Really.
Hide in Plain Sight, 3 and a green. It's a rare sorcery. Says, look at the top 5 cards of your library, cloak 2 of them, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
I am super down for this in limited.
That's lit.
Once again, a completely good but not broken limited card at rare.
Mm-hmm.
What? This is very strange. So remember, cloaking, if it's a creature, it can be uncloaked at any time for its mana cost. Mm-hmm. But if it has disguise, you basically can still do the disguise flip as well.
Yeah.
So you get 2/2/2s with Ward 2 for 4. That's kind of a creature, like, fetch kind of ish too. I mean, it's just good. You're playing this every time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're playing this every time. It's again like a B plus, sort of. Maybe an A minus. It depends on your creature quality. But like, I could see you like you play this on turn 4, you get because you can cloak anything. So you're like land and my 5-drop, right? Like, you look at the top 5, it's your turn 4, you're like, get a land, turn it into a 2/2 creature, get a 5-drop. And then next turn you attack, and if they try to block the wrong one, you're like, oh, it's a 5/5.
Yeah. Oh, look.
I do really like the art for this as well.
This also cheats the, This is interesting, because Morrow specifically made the point about the morph rule. This cheats the morph rule that I was just got done telling you guys, right, about the 2 toughness thing. Because, like, if you cloak a 3/3 for 3, you can just undisguise it for 3, and it eats whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
yeah. I don't think it's probably good enough for anything else.
Might have stumbled onto something.
Because it's a sorcery. But yeah, that's an interesting trick there.
Yeah.
Gabe gets a funny one.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, you don't get it. I want Mango to read it.
Okay.
I want you to read it. This is as zany as you are.
The pride of the whole clan.
That's what it is. It's like a Krampus sort of crocodile.
That's how he talks.
Yeah.
The pride of the whole clan. Tender green.
Crocodile elk turtle.
It's a mythic.
Yeah, it's a mythic.
It's legendary. What's its power and toughness?
It's a 2/15 for 11. Not sure how that lines up.
Let's find out.
Not versed in Magic enough to know any other cards with that much health.
They're big numbers.
So, this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total toughness of creatures you control. It has Defender.
Means it can't attack.
2 and 2 blue.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Well, no mono green here.
Yeah.
Until the end of turn, target creature you control gets +1/0 gains. When this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to its toughness, and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So,
draw cards equal to its toughness?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting this on the board, you're about to just win the game.
I mean, you just need a bunch of toughness. Like, you can...
2 blue.
This is a very weird toughness matters.
Just attack. You attack into them with everything every time. You're drawing infinite cards if you can activate this and get this on the board.
Yeah, but it's only target creatures, so, like, you can't... This card is very weird. So there's different types of toughness matters that they do in Magic. And the most typical is that creatures just get to deal damage with their toughness instead of their power.
Mm-hmm.
That's normally what they do. This is like Bizarro World. It's like, no, we only like big butts and we cannot lie. We're not trying to hit you for a lot of damage. But we do want a lot of cards. Also, this thing could be really cheap.
It would be really funny.
You're probably paying this for like
2
4
of these. You just play the second one for free.
Well, they're legendary, so...
Yeah, I know.
The legend rule in Magic, you can't have 2 in the same...
Oh, really?
Not at the same time.
Oh, I thought you could.
You could definitely realistically play this for 4.
Yeah, I think you're commonly playing this for 4 mana. I think that's...
And that's insane.
Yeah, a 2/15 for 4.
2/15 dies to nothing, except Death Touch, pretty much.
Or any removal. That's not damage based.
Oh,
well, creature.
Well, what's funny is that there's extremely cheap black removal that cares about toughness, Like there's one called Fatal Push that costs 1 black and it says destroy target creature with power 2 or less. Yikes.
Probably not in this set.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, they would never. Similarly, how they would never reprint Lightning Helix, they would also never reprint Fatal Push. But the idea of Fatal Pushing this crocodile is hilarious.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
All right, now you get to go, Gabe.
Sharp-eyed rookie. 1 in a green, creature human detective at rare, and it's a 2/2. Vigilance. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if its power is greater than Sharp-eyed Rookie's power or its toughness, it's greater than Sharp-eyed Rookie's toughness. Put a 1/1 counter on Sharp-eyed Rookie and investigate.
They really
What a
are just trying to.
mouthful.
They are just trying to make them as wordy as possible.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah,
they're doing.
yeah. What a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Okay, so create a clue token.
So it just investigate just make a clue.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So every time you play something, if it's
Actually.
yeah, whenever you and this is actually an ability that has been on several cards now. So that's the idea. So Magic will do this thing where like if you play enough, you can just like shortcut it. You're just like, oh, it's this thing that it does. So whenever you play something, if it has any bigger numbers than this one gets bigger by 1. That's the summary. Like does it have a bigger power number or a bigger toughness number? This one gets +1/+1, either way. And then you also get to draw a card. This card is insane and limited.
Yeah, this card is broken as hell and limited.
Like
It has vigilance.
it will spit everywhere.
The fact that this is realistically a 3/3 vigilance for 2 on
That
turn
draws a
3
card.
is-
that draws
draws
a card.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This card, I mean,
This is arguably the last thing you want to see turn 2. Like
Oh yeah.
I don't-
so far,
turn
yeah,
2.
maybe.
I don't think we've seen anything better than this on turn 2. That's probably not good enough in anything else, but this is like. But even then, it's not like broken because you draw this late and you're like, whatever. You know, it's really good early, but this is once again a rare that's not like insane. But it's probably like an A minus. Oh, I get another potential meta card. Undergrowth Recon, 1 green enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
This card is nuts.
So
There's a bunch of self-mill. This is insane.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
putting land specifically in your graveyard is something in the history of Magic that is occasionally extremely undercosted. Like what is it, Light from the Loam or whatever? It's like 1 in a green. Search your library for 3 land cards and put them in your graveyard. That's what it does. I'll look up after while you're reading. So yeah, this is a mythic, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a mythic.
Yeah,
It's a
mythic.
Yeah,
mythic.
that's mythic.
So, yeah, I mean, you're for sure not playing this in limited. I don't think. You better have a lot of self mill.
You'd have to have so much self.
to-
I could
to
see it,
contemplate
but it would be a very specific deck. Be hard.
Yeah.
Again, we haven't seen the commons and uncommons, so
Yeah.
hard to say.
But I mean, obviously, it's really cool and a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of older stuff.
for sure.
Commander, it is $18 because people know what's up.